Hi guys, welcome back to another review video, only 6 years after the last one. Today I'm going to be doing a microphone shootout between two very popular microphones at the moment and deciding which one is better for various things. Those microphones are the Aston Stealth and the SM7b. These are two very similar microphones in a lot of ways, even the way they look is quite similar, but there's a few big differences between the two. First of all, this is a condenser microphone, this is a dynamic microphone. Secondly, this has 4 different voices on it, and I guess arguably the Shure has 4 different voices as well, but they're very, very different on this one. The Aston Stealth also has some cool LEDs, which you'll see when I plug it in. Now, first thing to know about these microphones is the price. The Aston Stealth in the UK is £250. The SM7b is £330. Now that puts them in roughly the same ballpark. But the SM7b has a pretty hefty gain requirement, so if you're gonna get an SM7b, I'd recommend getting a preamp or a cloud lifter or something to boost that gain up, and you'll see the results of if you don't use one in a second. Both these microphones sort of market themselves as podcasting recording microphones, so they can be used for vocals in a song, but also they're quite heavily, especially the SM7b, is very heavily used in podcasts and things like that. I use mine for streaming, so my first experiment will be a blind test with just some spoken word. So this is microphone A, mic check, microphone A, testing, microphone A in the shootout between the SM7B and the Aston Stealth. Microphone B, testing microphone B, 1 2 1 2 check 1 2, microphone B in the SM7B versus Aston Stealth. As you could hear from those little blind tests, there's quite a lot of background noise. Now the Aston Stealth has an inbuilt way of dealing with that. Using phantom power, it has a 40 dB gain boost that pretty much eliminates all of that background noise. The SM7B, however, does not have that. So in order to make up that dB deficit that you've got going on, you need something like this. This is a cloud lifter. Cloud lifters are around £120 on top of the £330 you're already spending on an SM7B. But what this does is it just automatically lifts up as much gain as it can without making background noise. So I'm going to do another blind test, this time using both of their powered modes and their gain boosts. Microphone A, testing mic check, microphone A. Is this the same microphone as last time, or is it different? Microphone A, mic check, microphone A. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Is this the same as the last one, or is this a different microphone? 1 2 1 2. Is this the Aston Stealth or the SM7B? Find out soon. So I kind of played you guys. It was A and B again. A was the Stealth, B was the SM7B. As you could hear in that recording, there's still quite a lot of background noise for the SM7B, and that is because the cloud lifter only actually lifts by 27 dB. The rest of the gain comes from my interface, which is a Focusrite 2i2, the one that you guys probably have at home. Which goes to show that there's a lot of background noise even with this setup. Now what I do have is I have an old Behringer Ultra Gain here, which is really good for getting that extra push. I use that while I'm streaming because that gives the SM7B its push. But just as a side note, the Aston Stealth didn't actually require any gain on the Focusrite at all to be as loud as it was in that demo. Now there's only so much that you can do with just the dry sounds of microphones, so I'm just going to record a little something and show you what these microphones would sound like with a bit of processing, some compression, some saturation, something like that. For these recordings, I am going to be singing along to one of my own songs. It's called All Damn Night. It was released recently. Check it out on Spotify. And as a control, I will be using the SM58 for parts of it as well, and we'll swap between them to see which one you guys prefer.
I've fallen so far this time, I can't look back another day. My time is all I got left, I won't let it go to waste, won't let it go to waste. I feel the pressure building up, I feel it tearing out my heart. Stay for another fight, I've been waiting for you all time night. Whoa, and I know you'll be terrified, and I know that your love is blind.
Obviously, these are all great microphones. SM58, if you don't have an SM58, go buy one please, because they're amazing. But these two, what the video is actually about. Now I will say, In terms of price, I think the Aston Stealth is an absolute bargain for what it is, because for £250 for this thing to sound as good as it does with literally no effort is amazing. The SM7b costs twice as much once you factor in the preamp that you're going to need, as well as a better interface than a Focusrite 2i2, to be completely honest. However, the sound is iconic, and it is so easy to work with when you're producing. It's such a rich sound, it's just really easy to work with. Now, I will say, in terms of frequency, there's definitely a bit of a mid-ranginess to an SM7b, whereas the Stealth tends to have a very muddy low end sometimes, so take that into account depending on what kind of instrument you're doing. This has been entirely a vocal experiment. Obviously, these things can be used to record guitars and drums and anything like that, but I don't really have this set up here to do any of that. But yeah, so to conclude, if you're on a budget and you need a good podcasting microphone or a good recording microphone, I cannot recommend the Aston Stealth enough. If you've got more of a budget and you want something that can not only be used as a podcasting microphone, but also a pro singing microphone, go for the SM7b. And just as a side note, these two things are built like absolute tanks. I feel like I could probably break down a wall with both of them. Thanks so much for watching, and welcome back to the people who subscribed 6 years ago when I reviewed a guitar. I'm going to try and do a few more of these, because I really like making reviews, and yeah, I hope this helped some of you in some respect. I try to keep these relatively short, so I don't spend 20 minutes just rambling and talking about my sponsor. So yeah, have a good one, guys.